Now we've got Quant Overledger now launching, and it's pretty crazy. Sorry about the drill, guys. The Australian Stock Exchange obviously may consider listing tokenized real-world assets, which is wild. MicroStrategy buys 12,000. Bitcoin. Sane. Hey guys, welcome back to the Wall Street Bull. Hope you're all doing well and staying positive out there. Sorry about this. I'm just making some adjustments to the live stream. Sorry guys, this is my new setup right here, so I do apologize about the delay. And if you can hear me well and truly, please let me know in the live chat if you can hear me clearly. Still getting used to this new PC after it absolutely died my other computer, actually, to be honest with you. Just give me a sec. We'll wait for a few more people. Let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. There's a bit of a delay in the live stream. Hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. Sorry, it's Friday night, 8 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. And I do have my espresso. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's just see how we're going here. Anyway, hopefully you guys can hear me clear enough on this live stream, ladies and gents. Welcome, Mark, to the live stream. Welcome, James. G'day. Fun times at last. Yes, there are fun times ahead, that is for sure. Sorry, guys, there's a real delay in terms of the chat right here and the actual live stream itself. But let me know. Amazing. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for confirming that. Right. So as you all know, the crypto market has been going absolutely parabolic today. And I was blown away if you come over to CoinMarketCap to actually see the amount of ETF volume. It's actually incredible to see this at $1.5 billion on the 10th of July. I mean, we're a day ahead here in Australia, but $1.558 billion. That is mind-blowing to see that. There has been a lot of inflows into Bitcoin ETFs, and that's the reason why we're seeing, of course, the price of Bitcoin absolutely break all-time highs. I literally woke up this morning and was looking at my phone. I had all these notifications, literally like so many notifications, as you can see on my phone, and I saw the Bitcoin price going parabolic. So Anyway, we're going to go through what's happening here. And again, welcome to the live stream. Again, apologies about everything, guys. It's been a bit chaotic on this new computer system. I've got like 2 screens set up and I'm still getting used to it, but I figured I'd just get a quick live stream into all of, obviously out to all of you. It's been a big week this week, especially with EarnCurve. And I should say I haven't even logged in here for a second. Let me just bring this up. In terms of Octobot and EarnCurve, guys, it's been pretty wild, to be honest. With regards to the grid bots, they've been performing incredibly well, so I'm really happy about that. And a lot of you have registered on EarnCurve and have KYC'd. As I said to everybody, that I would be applying a 10% discount on your accounts if you KYC. So it's amazing to see that you guys have done that. We're going to go through all of that. Let me just bring this up here on the screen. We'll get to this in a moment, but let's get into the live stream because there is a bit to cover here. Massive shout out and thank you to every single one of you who have subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you are new, make sure you smash the subscribe button down there and turn on that little bell notification, because as you can see right here, I love documenting my journey with investing with cryptos, dividend stocks, growth stocks, talking about passive income, building financial freedom. And of course, my goal at the end of the day is to build generational wealth. So come along this incredible journey. Things are getting pretty wild in this space. Also, if you can give this live stream a thumbs up, watch it straight through, would really help me push this channel out to a lot more people, because the YouTube algorithm is absolute magic when you find, ladies and gentlemen, do that. So make sure you give it a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. It is down there. Thank you very much. You rock. Also, a little disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and due diligence with this stuff, right? I don't want to see anyone get financially hurt. That is why my number one golden rule is I only invest what I can afford to lose. And yes, we don't like to lose. You can lose money like that in the blink of an eye in crypto, right? So be careful, do your own research. This live stream is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the formalities are out of the way. We're going to go over some things, of course, in terms of the price. I've got my portfolio, of course, up. We're going to have a look at that, my favorite coins. And welcome to the live stream. Sorry about the mishap again. It's just been a bit of a chaotic day, to be honest with you. But this one here was a really interesting one in the community tab, and I've got my espresso right here. We have a supply and demand framework for Bitcoin forecasting right now, and this is quite fascinating. If you look at this particular figure, it says figure 11 shows forecast prices when the demand multiplier is held constant, D equals 30, and daily withdrawal rates from liquid supply vary. At the highest level of withdrawal, there is a clear trend from the logistics style adoption driven curve to one to starts to increase the hyperbolic trajectory right here. And the again, this is basically suggesting that Bitcoin is going to reach 1 million USD, $1 million by early 2027 from the levels of withdrawals of 1,000 Bitcoin per day, and the divergence in 2028 as the supply constraints come into play, which is happening right now because the institutions are buying up a significant amount. Again, we can see this easily at $2 million by late 2027 and USD $5 million by early 2031. I do believe that will happen eventually because all of the institutions are actually buying up a significant amount of Bitcoin and taking it off exchanges. There is a supply shock that is going to be coming down here as well. Yes, the EarnCurve grid bots are working really well because the market's going well, and of course these are trading incredibly well. Top banking coins in my portfolio this morning, we had WorldCoin, we had Hedera, Algorand, Solargenic, and again, the top ETF cryptocurrencies in my portfolio, we have SUI, Say, Hedera, President Trump's meme coin right here, and also the altcoins right here, SUI, CFX, Talcoin, XVG. This is literally when I woke up this morning, 12 hours ago, Bitcoin was at 116,500 US dollars. It's pretty incredible that that's actually happened right now. It's unbelievable. Yes, and just by the way, for all of you, I did end up resolving the issue with SwiftX, which is nice. Again, literally spoke to the CEO, Jason Titman, on email yesterday, so I was quite happy to receive a response from him. So I'm happy about that, and finally getting that resolved, which is really good. Coming over, let's have a look at coin market cap again. We do have a market cap of $3.69 trillion. $241 billion in volume, which is significant. I mean, this is what I'm talking about right here and what I've been mentioning. As soon as it gets over that 150, to $200 billion, that's when, again, I've been saying it for weeks, that we're going to see prices go absolutely parabolic, which is quite nice. We're still at 30 out of 100 in the Bitcoin season right here, and Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 67, which is interesting. Coming over to my watch list, so you can see, again, I share this all the time, by the way, in the Wall Street Bull University. And let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. If you're joining me on the live stream, thank you very much. I didn't really promote this one, to be honest, but we just jumped on because Bitcoin's going absolutely crazy at the moment. Now, again, coming over here, Bitcoin's sitting at 118,000 US dollars. It's hard to believe that this has broken 180,000 Australian dollars, which is wild. Let's just have a look now and see what it's actually in Australian dollars. And I posted this up on X, and a lot of people cracked it because they're like, it's not that. There you go, 179,000 at the moment, which is crazy. Coming back to USD, let's just have a look here and come back to my watch list, I should say. Let's just go here. Sorry, guys. Boom, boom. Let's bring this up here. Right, so again, Ethereum is up again 17%. It's 3,000 US dollars today. XRP is at $2.26, again up 17.31%, which is nice. Solana sitting up 164 US dollars, up 9%, which is really incredible. Coming over to the biggest gainer today, I don't know what's going on with BTT or BitTorrent. That is up 254%. That just fluctuates sometimes. It's wild. CFX is up 21%. Hedera still undervalued at 20 cents. XVG 15.8%. Cardano as well, sitting up at 15%. Everything is up. This is what happens in a bull market. It's amazing. And I think this is going to be an extended bull market, I should say, as well. Moving on, yes, excuse me, earn curve, ladies and gents. For those of you that have registered and signed up to my spot crypto exchange, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Coming over to Octobot, you can see here the bots are performing really well. I've got one here again up 20.3%. These ones here about 6.7%. And this one on Solana. I've got two running on Solana. That is up 5.2%, also making gains. And again, these have been running for less than a week. So, you can imagine what's happening now. They're starting to trend up because the market is increasing. So it's really cool to see that. I've gone through so many times on how to set this up, but everything is linked on the YouTube channel. So make sure you go and do that. Working really hard on getting the multi-bot set up as well. Again, that would basically allow you to trade as many of the crypto baskets, the grid trading bots, and soon to come, again, dollar cost averaging bots. I can't wait for that. And just to show you can set up with EarnCurve with the API key. You come over here as well. I've gone through this a few times. You come over and get your API key. You copy these into a Word document when you set them up. You tick reading, trading, and any IP address. Excuse me. And then once you've done that, you can connect it up with with Octobot. Come over here and exchange accounts. Let me just bring this up for you. Come up to this little plus symbol right here. You pick down EarnCurve. You type the name. It could be, I don't know, Octobot, EarnCurve, whatever it may be. You paste your API key and your secret key. Then basically that will turn green. Then you come over here and you can search, of course, your crypto baskets for EarnCurve. These are long-term plays. Let me just translate this because the company's based in Paris, so it is in French, so I do apologize about that. But anyway, you've got Bitcoin and Ethereum, top 10 right here. You've got all these other cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure why it's not doing that, but anyway, we've got also made in USA. We've got metaverse, gaming, coins for the crypto baskets. Strategies, again, this is what I love. These are the grid bots. So you can run one grid trading bot at the moment, working with the team at Octobot to of course, get these being able to be traded on one account on EarnCurve, as many as you like, and I can't wait for that. So they're working really hard on that, guys. I'm pushing to get this going. So it could literally mean you'd be able to trade any of these that you like on EarnCurve. I'm really excited about that, and they're actually performing really well. So you can do that at the moment, but you'll need to set up an Gmail account just to show you guys what I'm talking about here. You can see if you have a Gmail account, you can run multiple accounts on EarnCurve with adding a +1 at gmail.com or a +2 at gmail.com. I've seen a couple of people recently also putting a +3 in front of their Gmail addresses, so that's really cool to see that. And again, you let them run. They're fully automatic and it's fully AI driven, which is amazing. Have a look at my XRP one right here. Let's just open this up and see what it's doing. It's really cool. So coming down here, recent activity. There you go. It's placing sell orders because it bought the dip and then it's selling for profit. And it's, again, you can see what it's saying right here. It's saying, I check whether the portfolio exposure matches the strategy. It's constantly reviewing this with artificial intelligence. And this is where I'm absolutely bullish on this technology because it's only going to be evolving and developing right there. And of course, if you'd like to create your own strategies, you can generate them with artificial intelligence. So as I keep saying, create me a grid trading bot on, again, let's just say Solana, USDT, or SOL, I should say, because it's a ticker symbol, USDT, 16 buy orders and 16 sell orders. And again, this is really basic on EarnCurve. And you click enter right here, which is awesome. Let's just see what it does, guys. Welcome to the live stream, by the way. There you go, right there. So you can create whatever you like. Now, just bear in mind that there is a maximum of 50 orders in the book at one time. So just bear that in mind. The bigger the orders, in the order book, of course, it's going to be taking smaller profits, but the larger the spacing, so 32 orders, 16 to 16, you can see the price range is going to be between $155 and $174. So there you go, guys. Pretty cool stuff. Go join up on EarnCurve, my spot crypto exchange, and welcome to the live stream. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know. I'm always bullish to know where everyone's watching from. I'm going to type that in the comments. Let's have a look here. Where you are watching from. There you go. All right. So let's move on, of course, to some news. That is a given. Fidelity is an interesting one. Fidelity is valuing Ethereum as money, which I don't particularly like. And it was an interesting one because Charles Hoskinson from Cardano, the founder of Cardano, actually mentioned the fact that Ethereum has 8 founders, and they sort of parted ways, which is something I'm, very, very cautious of. That's one of the reasons why he actually moved away from Ethereum. So anyway, I think they just had differences of opinions, but I did share that on my X page, so we'll have a look at that. But in a recent Fidelity Investments report, they propose valuing blockchains on the basis of GDP, which is interesting. Again, you've got C is consumption, I is business investment, G is government spending, X is exports, and M is imports. So XM is net exports, which is unbelievable. I don't even know why they would do this, but you can see down here, there's an interesting one here. Gas fees are the biggest thing that I hate about Ethereum. Let me know in the live chat what you think about that as well. But you can see here, GDP is a measure of domestic production right here. And I think the value of everything made here, when a country exports that domestic production, when it imports that spending, that's why net imports for GDP. But if millions of stable coins are bridged onto import and or off export Ethereum, that bloats the blockchain's GDP, and though nothing productive occurs on chain, which is interesting. Contrast to when the stablecoin is minted on chain or when Helium miner is paid tokens for providing useful mobile cellular service, there are productive imports that would rightfully count towards blockchain's GDP. So anyway, it's just going on to a whole thing about this. I'm not really bullish on Ethereum. That is the honest truth. And I can see everyone watching on here. We've got a lot of people from far south coast, New South Wales. We've got High Room, State USA, Florida's in the house, UK. Very cool, guys. Very, very cool. XRP, can it hit $100 by 2026 and $500 by 2030? I think a lot of people would be extremely wealthy if that was to happen. And again, as legal hurdles fade and mainstream adoption grows, many investors are wondering, can XRP hit $100 by 2026 or even $500 by 2030? Which again, I think anything's possible. You can't say it's not. A lot of people thought again, Bitcoin would never hit this kind of level that it's sitting at the moment. And according to expert predictions from various sources, XRP price prediction of 2025 varies from $2.50 to $5 by 2026 USD, that is, and by 2030 stretch from $5 as much as $100 as most optimistic cases. In ultra bullish predictions right here, the ones that line pointing directly upwards, you will find some term futurists claiming XRP price will hit $500 by 2030. In their most outlandish crusades, again, are successful, but only, of course, under the most extraordinary conditions. XRP has been particularly range-bound over the last few years, which it has, largely due to the ongoing legal issues with the SEC. However, with the lawsuit closing in with the solution and Ripple extending, again, its partnerships right here across the globe, many analysts expect to see a better price action in the next bull run of crypto. Technical improvements, regulatory clarity, and growing institutional demand could prepare XRP for major push higher in the medium and long-term future. And I say this all the time to my followers. People need to think long-term with their investments. They can't think short-term. Yes, it's great, but when you go back and look at, the performance of these assets, it's actually insane to think that we're sitting now, with Bitcoin at $118,000. I mean, I remember when I first got into cryptocurrency back in 2016, Bitcoin was well and truly nowhere near this. Now, again, coming back to 2016, actually, when I first heard about it and got into it, it was around about that $400 US dollar mark, which is mind blowing. So that's when I first got into cryptocurrency. Been in this space for a long time. And you can see that the previous in 21 high right here of 63,000, then it dropped back down and went back down. And of course, it went up again, 66,000. And you can see 2022 bear market right here, 23 bear market, 24, we started creeping up. And that is because, of course, we had the ETFs getting approved for Bitcoin in 2024. So it hasn't been around that long. We are still very early in this space. This is what I want to make people understand. We are still so early in this space. Sorry about the pop-up on my screen. So you can imagine, looking at now what's happened with Bitcoin in the last 12 months from, again, January from last year, 2024. Look at that. And then coming over to, of course, our other favorite cryptocurrency. So I'm going to close my emails because I get too many emails at the moment. You have to think long-term with this stuff. It's mind-blowing to think how much growth has been in this space. Even CZ said we are still in a dip, which is crazy. And yes, we did have Bitcoin again blasting past 118,000 US dollars. Was the Coinbase crash a signal all along, which is fascinating. Come down here. Coinbase outages are now seen by many crypto investors as a bullish signal, because they historically coincide with Bitcoin price surges, which is wild. And Bitcoin's recent surge to a new all-time high, again, of 111,999 was partly fueled by strong market fundamentals. Coinbase added fuel to the speculation with cryptic tweet during its downtime. And despite some skepticism right here about the reoccurring outages, the overall market sentiment is highly confident. And again, it surged well beyond that. Full send is loading. I agree. And just again, as news of Coinbase connectivity issues spread, so did the speculation of a bullish breakout, which is, again, it's doing that as we speak, and it shows no sign of slowing down. A lot of analysts have been predicting this, that it would hit 120,000 US dollars. And a lot of analysts, as Cathy Woods believes that this is going to be going a hell of a lot higher. We do have Kathy Woods also from ARK Invest selling off $6.5 million in Coinbase shares and $5.8 million amid Bitcoin rally. So again, she's probably dollar cost averaging, but she is buying up a significant amount of Bitcoin. They did do some dollar cost averaging. And welcome to the live stream, guys. Let's have a look here. XRP to the moon. Yes, 100%. Tell me more about top coins. Chicago, Illinois. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream, guys. Sorry, there's a bit of a lag with the live chat, which is quite frustrating. Crypto liquidations as well. Top $1 billion as the Bitcoin rally goes up. This is what happens when you trade with leverage. Whereas on EarnCurve, we are not trading with leverage. It's the spot market, which is really bullish to see. And by the way, just quickly show you guys how many orders this is actually making on EarnCurve. If you come here as an example and you come to, of course, XRP, you will see the Octobot and EarnCurve trades. I mean, on the 8th, there was this many trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 trades in one day on XRP with EarnCurve and the Octobots. And then on the, of course, the 9th, we had one trade, which is fine. It made a sell order. Yesterday we had one sell order because, again, it bought the dip and it's taking profits as the market goes up. And, of course, today we've had two, which is really nice, of 17.4 USDT and another one at 17.5 USDT. So, again, it's really cool to see that. Let's get to X, guys, and welcome to the live stream. We're just discussing what's basically happening in the crypto markets this evening. And have a sip of water. All right, now coming down to X, I've just got a couple of posts up right here, but Bitcoin versus the US dollar. Bitcoin is up 24%. The US dollar, again, is up 14%, or down negative 14%. So again, yes, it is definitely a hedge against inflation. Jack the Rippler, thank you for this one. But Ripple has allegedly secured an XRP deal with the United States, which is fascinating. Trillions in value are preparing to flow into the XRP ledger on the 21st of July. And again, we're talking about $654 trillion, which is just extraordinary, which may trigger a massive supply shock for the real token. And this could represent one of the most critical milestones in the XRP ledger history. Real token is still available, but supply is limited because July 15th, a 10% supply burn will occur. 10% of XRP's circulating supply will be burnt. We also have CZ founder as well. I did reshare his tweet, and I love this, but he's basically said here, if you missed the previous dips, there will be dips in the future too, and we are still in one now. There are no limits to mathematical numbers or fiat printing, only limited amount of Bitcoins, which is true. You also have Eric Trump, President Donald Trump's son, saying, "You're welcome. Feels like a great time to enter Bitcoin." Again, President Trump's son, Eric, was very bullish, and the entire family has been very bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And again, you even have the President of the United States tweeting out today, which just blows my mind, but he's saying, President Trump is saying tech stocks, industrial stocks, and NASDAQ hit an all-time record highs. Crypto through the roof. Nvidia is up 47% since Trump tariffs. USA is taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. Country is now back, and again, a great credit to the Fed, should rapidly lower the rate to reflect the strength. The USA should be at the top of the list, no inflation. Again, I really do wish that the RBA here in Australia would lower their rates, but they're not. They've held them, again, months in a row, which is very frustrating. So again, I think we're in the same position as the United States in terms of the Reserve Bank and the Federal Reserve in the United States. They're just holding. They're not dropping rates. Again, because of sticky inflation. They're just too nervous about all of these other numbers and reports that come out. It's bloody frustrating. We do have $165 billion added to the cryptocurrency market cap today alone, which is one of the main reasons why we're seeing extraordinary prices with Bitcoin. Robinhood officially launches Ethereum and Solana staking in the United States. Congratulations to Robinhood. That's incredible to see that. I'm going to play this interview right here, and hopefully it works and you guys can hear it. But we have Bitcoin was 16,000 when Peter Zion said that it had no intrinsic value. It is now 118,000 US dollars. Have a listen to this. I'm going to play it.
There's no intrinsic value to this.
I just wonder if you guys can hear it. Hopefully you can. Let me just turn my speakers up here. Let's play for it. Listen to this. This is what I'm talking about, FUD, right? Listen to this.
Asset. And now it's starting to be priced appropriately. So it has a, what's Bitcoin at? 16,000? It has another 17,000 to go down.
Duh, really?
Yeah, there's no intrinsic value to this product.
And do you think that people have just inherently lost faith in the idea behind crypto because of FTX?
Well, it became an ideology, and whenever you invest based on an ideology, you're going to make some decisions that are a little divorced from math.
And what do you mean by ideology?
Well, the people who really like crypto are convinced that it's the currency of the future and that a decentralized ledger is the way to go, and that anything that is controlled by a government entity is by definition a negative, and if it's done by the private sector freely, it will be better. And that's just not how currency works. Currency is a method of exchange and a store of value. And for that, there has to be a degree of trust, and you have to have it managed in terms of volume. I mean, one of the craziest things about Bitcoin is that there will never be more than X number of units of Bitcoin. Well, by default, that means it can't be used for trade, because the whole idea of economic activity is that there's expansion, which means you need more currency to lubricate and manage that expansion. If currency is locked in at a specific number, you get monetary inflation, and that is one of the fastest ways to destroy an economic model.
So because of the lack of Bitcoin, because there's a certain controlled number, the only thing that can happen is Bitcoin becomes more expensive.
Right. And that means that the people who hold it are the ones that make the money, but everyone else suffers? I'm sorry, that's not viable. The alternative is you have some private dude out there who generates the coins on a whim. How is that different from the monetary reserve or the monetary authorities that we have at the Federal Reserve, except for the point that there's no accountability? No.
There you go. So look, in a nutshell, there's going to be haters out there, and let me know in the live chat. I'm trying to say if you have any questions, please put them up. But you're going to get people that say that there is literally no intrinsic value to this digital gold, and it's utterly ridiculous to think that. It's very frustrating to listen to that. And, there's been haters like Peter Schiff in this space who's just basically said Bitcoin's going to zero, which is not the case at all. Anyway, moving on, we do have the Bhutan government sending over 100 Bitcoin worth $11.8 million to Binance, totaling 449.3 Bitcoin valued at $50 million over the last 11 days, which is fascinating. Let's have a look here. Yesterday, I did find this incredible video with Charles Hoskinson. Oh, and by the way, German government decision to sell 50,000 Bitcoin at 54,000 US dollars has literally cost them, wait for it, $3.1 billion in missed profits. That is a significant amount of Bitcoin losses right there and gains. And yes, that did hit 182,000 Australian dollars today. Remarkable. The S&P is also up, which is nice. BlackRock buys 3,950 Bitcoin. That is a significant amount of capital. And if you look at their dollar cost averaging right here, it's just been non-stop since the first, what do we got here? The 12th of the 1st, 2024. And we have, again, we've got February, we've got April, May, June, July, August. They've just been buying non-stop. Has been a little bit of selling, but they've just literally been acquiring as much Bitcoin as possible. Yes, we do have President Trump there, the crypto king. I can't believe that we don't have Gary Gensler there anymore. Bitcoin's chart is coiled like a spring with an upside of $170,000. I'm going to play this. This is from Fox Business. Have a listen to this.
Look at another name that you like here, and that's Bitcoin. Now, if I read the notes properly, did you say 140,000 for Bitcoin is possible from here?
It's very possible with upside from there. And I don't want to oversell it. And look, I'll leave the story to the pump, but I focus on the charts. And this chart is coiled like a spring here. Now, keep in mind, as many of these momentum stocks have surged off the bottom, Bitcoin's been doing yeoman's work of consolidating within this well-defined trading channel. But it is coiled, as I said, to break out and play catch-up to names like Coinbase, names like Robinhood that are already back at the high. So a breakout above 110, which is last resistance, projects measured upside to 140 with upside from there to 170 as well.
So I want to take another look at another name that you like here.
Yes, it's definitely priced into 170. Let's have a look right here. We believe Bitcoin and Ethereum will continue to rise over the coming years. Let's have a listen to this. Joe Lubin.
Over the next years and decades as we paradigm shift to more and more decentralization. So that's going to put a bid under these tokens, and the anticipation of us and Saylor accumulating more and more consistently, both in large chunks as well as just selling ATM. We're able to acquire tens of millions of dollars in Ether a day via these ATM sales. And so we're just going to stay the course and continue to grow the concentration of Ether per fully diluted share. Because decentralization.
Very interesting from Joe Lubin right there. Again, I do want to play the clip from Charles Hoskinson if I can find it from yesterday. There's been a lot of tweets. Here it is right here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get banned for this, but have a listen to this.
Blockchains are like a constitution. What's written in it can't be violated. If this is your right as a user of the system, the operator of the system or some power like the United States or China can't come in and change it. It is what it is. Everybody in the world is treated equally. So it doesn't matter what language.
Sorry, guys, that's the wrong video. Where is it here? It should be here. I do apologize. I'm just trying to find it. There was so much posted yesterday in regards to what happened with Brad Garlinghouse at the US Banking Senate right here. I can't actually find that clip, but it was fascinating to hear Charles talk about Ethereum founders. Here it is here. Listen to this.
You know, people ask me all the time because I run a venture capital firm and I advise young entrepreneurs all the time. And I say there's 3 rules that I got out of Ethereum. First off, you can't have 8 founders. There were 8 founders with Ethereum, you know, all from different wakes of life. We have a Romanian guy, an Israeli guy, a Canadian guy, a Wall Street guy who was also Canadian but also lived in Jamaica. Vitalik, obviously, is a Russian guy. And there's me, the Colorado, Wyoming, Hawaii boy, right? And there's others. And we all had radically different ideas and philosophies, and we were unified on this idea that we wanted programmability with the blockchain. It's kind of like when JavaScript came to the web browser. Before that happened, you just had pretty pictures and pretty websites. But when JavaScript came, you had programmability. So then you have Facebook and Amazon and YouTube and these things. You can build beautiful, rich experiences. Well, Bitcoin has no programmability until recently. So what does that mean? It's like you move Bitcoins around. That's all you can do. It's a very simple network. But then when you have programmability, you have a programming language. So you can just do anything you want. You can create decentralized exchanges and voting systems and all these other things. So we all said, this is a really good idea. So that was the first level of agreement. But then as we started it, as the months went on, we had radically different visions of what would make that idea safe, effective, governable, and scalable, and all these other characteristics. And then naturally it drifted.
That was interesting. I found that fascinating to hear Charles talk about that. But that is it for today, ladies and gents, in terms of the news, and Bitcoin absolutely going parabolic at the moment. It's fascinating. And yes, it is up again all time. Let's just have a look on the day. 6.3%, 8.3% in the last 7 days. Let's have a look on the month, 8%. And this year alone, it's up 102%. And then if people don't like XRP, well, you need to see this right here. But in the last year, it is up 493%. This is why you need to think long-term with your cryptos. Anyway, guys, that was just a quick little live stream. I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I will be doing some YouTube shorts. And, of course, I'll be keeping everyone updated. But make sure you go join EarnCurve, my spot crypto exchange, KYC. Make sure you upload driver's license, passport, or a government-issued ID. And, of course, a proof of address. That could be a utility bill. With something that confirms your address, and you'll get access to the cheapest fees, literally, to get these bots up and running. And it's really straightforward. Go back and have a look at the videos on my channel. All the instructions are there, and you can set up and run these bots on EarnCurve with Octobot. It's amazing. Really, really cool stuff. So make sure you go do that. I'm out. Make sure you enjoy these gains. Take profits if you want. Be careful with leverage trading because the market's very volatile. But I'll speak to everyone over the weekend on YouTube Shorts. All right, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Thank you for joining the live stream. I really appreciate it, guys. So take care of yourselves. Peace out. Bye.